Alright, so at the 1321 mission project site, around every single concrete column, we needed to place these reinforcing steel stud rails. And so this is a before video of the process of how we would place them before pouring the concrete. So for each stud rail, the laborer would have to bring in all the stud rails, all the chairs, all the tools, nails, everything to each individual column. And so each chair would need to be attached to the plywood with two nails, and then the stud rails would then have to be placed on top of the chairs shown here. So some things to take note of: the workers like on his knees is not exactly the most comfortable position. Um, Also with this process, we see that like he's hammering nails through the plywood. So eventually, when the concrete is the form's removed, the nails are sticking out, and then someone has to come through from below the slab to cut these nails and finish up the concrete. Alright, so here's our new process of placing stud rails. So here we have the centralized table with all the materials in stockpiles. We have the stud rails behind the table, we have the chairs in the middle, we have the tools laid out on the table. So the first step is to take these stud rails and place them into the correct slots. Next we take a longer rebar chair instead of the shorter ones we had originally, and we're tying them with tie wire. So this replaces the nails that we were using previously, and it'll eliminate the need for finishing after the concrete is done. So after all this is tied together, we have an entire like stud rail assembly, and from this pile the workers will take each assembly over to the correct spot, and then they'll just tie it using tie wire again to the existing slab rebar. And so again, this will eliminate any need for nails and dry finishing, and it definitely speeds up the process. We've noticed it cuts down on the time to place these by about half, so it's definitely a much leaner process.